Okay, welcome to part 2 of the Ariba Call Centre tech support fraud. A lot of people have asked me to do a part 2 because the first one ended very abruptly and it wasn't very clear what happened after this. So what did happen after the recording stopped? Well, first of all, I wanted to stop the video because I wanted to get in touch with the scammer's ISP almost immediately. I wanted to show the guy who was connected that I actually had a keylogger running and I could see everything that he'd typed. So he set a password on my machine, which I could see. And I could also show him that I could instantly restore the machine even without knowing the password. That's one of the benefits of virtual machines. But he obviously hung up before I got a chance to do this. But I still wanted to know who it was had accessed my machine. So as I say, I wanted to go to his ISP and alert him to the fraud. I knew what his IP address was with the timestamp. I knew the service provider was Megbula Broadband in India, and I knew the approximate location because Megbula only served the Kolkata region of India. And even the DNS name told me as much as I needed to know. The KOL in the DNS name of that IP address stands for Kolkata. So I contacted his ISP. They give me 2 email addresses. I also contacted the India Cybercrime Police. If you pause the video, you'll see some of the emails that I sent. So once it sent those, I waited for a reply. What was the outcome? And the answer is they did absolutely nothing. I got no emails, no phone calls, no anything. So obviously I wasn't very happy, so I decided to dig a little bit further and do my own investigation. So what do you look for if you only have an IP address to go on? Well, the weak points of this scam are obviously the fact that he remotely connected to my machine in the first place. If the scammer uses certain remote access clients like TeamViewer and LogMeIn Rescue, you will see his actual IP address. Other clients like Fast Support or Support.me or AMI and a number of others will only show a server IP address, not the actual scammer's address. So at least I had his IP address. Secondly, their phone number. If it's a real phone number, there's always a chance that the organization who issue the phone number will give you a bit more information. And thirdly, payments. This particular scammer used something called fairmerchant13@gmail.com as his email address. So I followed up on this. When I talk about the phone number, it's not the displayed phone number that appeared on my caller display. It looks like a US number, but plainly is a fake number. It came from India. But instead, the scammer pointed me to a website called techconsultancy.services. You'll see this in part 1. And that has a particular phone number displayed on it. It's a UK phone number. There's also a US number. And I was able to do a Google search for both of those numbers, and up popped another website. The second website had exactly the same phone numbers, and it was called thetechnicals.com. When you look at those 2 websites side by side, you'll see that they obviously are almost identical. The only thing that's changed is the logo. Techconsultancy.services is still present on both. The phone numbers are exactly the same on both. The physical address supposedly is the same, and the phone number is the same. Incidentally, that physical address is a cyber cafe. Here it is, which is AirNet Communications, who look to be an innocent third party on the Edgware Road in London. So when I looked at the DNS, the domain registration under Whois, the tech support services domain registration didn't show much, but the second one, the technicals, did show some interesting information. In particular, it showed me the name of the registrant, somebody called Arslaan Ghaus, and the address of the email address seemed to be something called the Ariba Call Centre at gmail.com. When I googled the Ariba Call Centre, this showed a Kolkata-based call centre who specialise in outbound calls to the UK and the US, and one of the directors was named Arslaan Ghaus. They also had a website and a Facebook page. This is their website, or it was in April 2015. If you look at the About, you'll see our friend Arslaan here. That's what he looks like. He's described as an account manager. And this seems to be his wife, Ariba, who I think the call centre is named after. And they have their own individual Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and LinkedIn accounts, all of which were live back in 2015. If you look at their services, they describe themselves as offering a complete range of software and hardware support through remote PC help desk worldwide. So they do remote PC access. Some of their clients are interesting, particularly this one in the bottom right. If you're in the UK, like me, you might be plagued by calls doing what is described as a lifestyle survey, typically from foreign call centres, even though you might be on the telephone preference system. And it's companies like Fruit who gather and send this information to their clients in the likes of the Ariba Call Centre. And it sounds like the Ariba Call Centre either have received email directly from, or a lot of data directly from Fruit, or they'll pass it on to other call centres. And this is their address. They are in 22 Ashutosh Chowdhury Avenue in Kolkata. So is this a smoking gun? We have an IP address in Kolkata. We have a call centre who do remote PC support. We have a website which has the same details as the one that the scammer pointed me to. And we also have a director who seems to have registered at least one of those scam domains. And so it looks very strongly like Ariba seem to be behind this. Either that or someone has gone really out of their way to stitch up the Ariba call center to set them up, because it has to be somebody else in Kolkata after all. And they've really gone out of their way to do the domain registrations in a way that makes it look like it's these guys. So I wanted to contact them. They had a Facebook page, they had a Twitter account, they had a website, and they were quite happy to link to their clients and directors on that website, but not anymore. Something changed. Whenever I contact them about fraud, all of a sudden those websites strangely all started to disappear. So this is their Facebook page in 2015. See, there's quite a lot on it. Here's our friend down at the bottom, Arslaan, who's giving out some prizes and awards. Doesn't say whether that's for fraud or not, but we can only guess on that one. So that was their page, Facebook page in 2015. Their Facebook page looks like this today. They quickly brought that down. Their website in 2015 you've seen, and this is what it looks like today. And oh dear, it seems to have expired, and the domain expired back in 2016. However, they are still active. They do still have a free website. It doesn't require any kind of registration. Their obvious mistake with the last website, and they're still in the same address. So when I confronted the Ariba call center, I initially, by email, asked them, are you aware that someone in your center is committing fraud? I sent a link to the YouTube video, and I initially didn't get any reply. They did nothing. They ignored me. So again, I wasn't very satisfied with that as an answer. So I decided to up the ante a bit. And what I thought I would do is, number one, publish the names on details of the directors on YouTube. That's on part one, as you'll see. I also used their own Facebook page to comment about this fraud and ask them to address what I just recorded. And thirdly, and you'll see it here, I emailed their main customers, or one of their main customers, to draw attention to the fraud, CCing Arslaan and the Ariba call center. I really wanted to get a reaction from it, and that certainly did get a reaction. And the reaction was, as soon as I did that, the technicals website was brought down, the Facebook page was brought down, and their own website was temporarily taken down. 2 days later it came back, but some of the key details on their clients and their directors, although the names remained, all of their personal links to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. were removed. And they decided to reply to me publicly on YouTube, and I'll show you their reply because it's buried in a lot of comments. So this is their reply, and it says, "Dear Mr. Browning, we became aware of your allegations. We've been running for 4 years and we're basically a clean business." Okay, they're saying they've got all these legitimate customers. So they said to me, you know, we took down our website just to do some maintenance, was their excuse. That was the reason for it. They say they don't have to justify why they took off all of the personal links, but they said in fact it was unlawful for me to post their information in a public forum, even though they'd done just that themselves. Then they went in to talk about cyber stalking. So I'm now apparently cyber stalking them. And the definition of cyber stalking, they seem to have cut and paste from some website. Anyway, it was a bit bizarre that me drawing attention to fraud was me actually doing cyber stalking. And then they start into a few excuses. So in these capitals, these are their excuses. So they're saying in this area, it's easy and very common to hack a website, IP address, mobiles, etc. And me as a tech-savvy person must know that I mustn't malign any individual or organization without proper evidence, even though I have tons of evidence. However, of course, they're denying their association with the technicals and a few others where their website is cobbled from. And they're saying, please stop using our personal information here. We don't like this. And in fact, and this is the key bit of all of this, saying, anyways, thanks for bringing to our notice that our IP is being hacked and used by someone else to do fraud activities. In other words, it is our IP address, yep, we know, but actually we're being hacked. And someone else is doing all of this stuff. All those couple of people who spoke to you from an IP address from our call center, that's not really us at all. That's some hacker doing that instead. It's definitely not us. And then they question my identity at the end of it. So there you go. That's their defense. They're saying they were actually hacked and it's nothing to do with them. So that's really as far as I can take it. None of the authorities are in any way interested. I've contacted UK-based people as well to point out this video. Again, no one has done anything, so all I'm really left with is kind of naming and shaming them on YouTube. So that's as far as I've gone. Okay, I think that's it for part 2. If you like these sorts of videos, please do subscribe. I've not mentioned that before in any of my videos, but it is the type of video that I'll be doing in the future. So if you enjoy this sort of thing, if you get a kick out of it, I guess say I do, I would appreciate any comments that you have. And as I say, if you like this sort of thing, please do subscribe, and thank you for watching.